Hi guys, my name is Ashley and I have started this channel today to talk to you about something called Ankylosing Spondylitis. It is something that I've recently been diagnosed with, something that took forever to get diagnosed. The whole purpose of me making this channel and making these videos is I really want to help other people out there who might be suffering the same symptoms, who might be going through the same things I am, and doctors and health professionals out there are just constantly giving you the wrong advice. They're not really getting to the real meat of what's going on with you, and that was kind of my story. So I thought, why not just try to get my story out there, and if it resonates with you, maybe this could be something you could suggest to your family doctor or whoever is looking after you and get to the bottom of it, and perhaps you do have what I have. So let's just dive into it and I'll let you know how it all started and what's going on right now. So everything really started, years ago. The truth is that all of this that I've been going through has been over many years, but just slowly, gradually got worse. Um, there was a point in time where it was almost like an injury that happened to me. And because of the job I was working at the time, I thought that maybe I had a slipped disc in my back. I thought maybe that I had pulled a bunch of muscles. I was working as a home caregiver for seniors, and I wasn't doing any heavy lifting. It wasn't part of our protocol. We weren't allowed to be doing it anyways. And but I was like being sedentary a lot. I did like assist them to stand up from like a chair, and I thought that maybe I twisted it the wrong way. Maybe I did something really, messed up with my movements. Self-blame. That's from day one. It was always, "Oh my God, I did something to injure myself. Oh my God, I'm eating the wrong foods." It was always self-blame, and whenever I would go talk to like a nurse or a doctor, they would say the same things. "Oh, you're really stressed. Oh, you've pulled a muscle. Oh, you've injured yourself." And there's not much we can do for you other than suggest that you just get a lot of rest, drink a lot of fluids, take some pain medication, and do some stretches. Go to physio. That'll save your life. Well, yeah, didn't really help. um, so basically, 2 years ago, it was November, so just over 2 years ago, November of 2018. I was working as a caregiver in Victoria, in BC, and just out of the blue, one day, like I had the most intense lower back pain. I can't even describe what it was. And it was something that was really low in my back, like almost above, like, my glute area. And it actually radiated through like the joint where my leg attached to my hip, and it was just on one side. It was just on one side, and it was like radiating down my leg a little bit too. And I couldn't walk. I couldn't bear any weight on that leg and on that side of my body. I have never experienced pain like that in my life. I've had, you know, everything happened to me before, like I've experienced pain in my life, and that was off the charts. If you were to ask me like 0 to 10, it would be 15. Like that was the worst pain I've ever felt. I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't think. It was so terrible. Anyways, so I went to the emergency because I thought maybe like, holy shit, like I broke my back. Like maybe like I pulled like a spinal disc. Like I didn't know anything of what it possibly could have been. So my husband was really concerned too, and we both rushed to the emergency room over in the Royal Jubilee over in Victoria, and they gave me a whole whack ton of medications. They told me I most likely have a herniated disc, and this is something they see, and then I have sciatica because of the herniated disc. And this is not something that they are able to help. It's something that I would have to rest and take care of myself, and over time it would get better. And just really try not to re-injure it. And I was like, oh my God, okay, let's try to do that. So I ended up actually having to quit my caregiving job, and I was out of work for about 2 months. And then I started working as a caregiver for kids at a after school and before school program, and that was really fun. I was really active. I was outside a lot. We played a lot of sports. I was chasing after them in the gym. It was a really good job. And I worked that for the rest of the school year until June of 2019. And I didn't have a lot of pain actually because of that. Like, it was interesting how it switched all of a sudden from like extreme pain, and I couldn't sleep in the night and I couldn't walk very well. Then all of a sudden I had this very active job, and that active job, like for some reason, it actually helped the pain. And then that summer, after June, so school was out, I was out of a job basically for the summer. And I ended up getting a job at a clinic as an administrator, which was something I was always interested in doing. Doing something like in the medical field that was not hands on, like as a caregiver, but something more administrative wise. I thought that would be more um, just like more stable in my life, not working night shifts, not working crazy hours. So I got this really awesome job at a hand clinic in Victoria, and that job was sedentary. So it was like sitting most of the day on the computer. I mean, I did get up to run charts and whatnot, but it was mostly sitting. And the pain really returned because of that. And I was really confused as to why that was. Like, I didn't re injure my back, but all of a sudden, I was starting to get these intense lower back pain, all lower back in my glutes. Eventually, my actual like hip flexor muscles were like inflamed every single day. My glutes would alternate back and forth. One side of my butt would hurt really bad, the other side of my butt would hurt really bad, and I was like, am I just sitting on my ass too long? Like, I don't understand. Why is this alternating butt pain happening on top of my back pain? And it would cripple me. It would be really bad in the morning. I could deal with it all day, and then it would be really, really bad again in the evening. And then usually I would like relax, have a bath, maybe take an Advil or a Tylenol, and I'd be able to go to sleep. But then it would wake me up again at like 3 or 4 in the morning, sometimes a little later, 4 or 5 in the morning, and it would be the worst pain ever again. And that's what's happening right now, where I can mostly deal with it during the day. It's just like, cramping and stiffness, but during the night, it's like back spasms, like all the muscles that are attached to the lower back, my hips, my shoulder blades, they all contract, and they like get really, 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 really hard, and all the nerves get all fucked up because of that, and it really, really hurts. And so my dad was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis when he was in his 20s. And he always said to me, he's like, oh, Ashley, dads give them to your kids. They always give them to their daughters, especially. This disease gets passed on. And I never thought of it. He told me that when I was in my early teens. And then it finally clicked. This is probably what this is. So my husband and I moved to Calgary this summer. We moved back here, and I found a family doctor and told her that I have a history of this. And so she sent me to get some blood work done. She wanted to see if I had a positive result for something called I think it's called HLA-B27. It's a gene that a lot of people apparently carry in the population. So it's just one factor to prove that you have this disease. But everyone basically that um, has the positive result with this gene and also has the symptoms and also has scarring and problems with like x-ray results, those people definitely are the ones that get diagnosed with this. And that's what happened with me. So I was positive for the HLA-B27 gene, and I think it's called like a gene factor. Sorry, I don't know. It's still very new for me, so not too knowledgeable about it. And then I also went and got an x-ray done of my lower back and all my thoracic spine. But that came back extremely abnormal. There was scarring, there was like some sort of like they use such gigantic, huge words in these x ray results. I can't even like explain what they said, but it was definitely something going on at my something called my sacroiliac joint, which is where like basically your hips kind of join your spine and it's like the very, very low part. And that is exactly where most of my pain always was. And anybody who has like back pain because of stress or if they injured themselves because of a herniated disc will not have this type of corrosion and scarring on their spine. And so when my doctor saw that I was positive for this and family history, they were like, yeah, okay, this is probably what you have. So now you have to go talk to a rheumatologist. And that's kind of where I'm sitting at the moment. Um, but I just wanted to share that beginning part of my story. It was probably scrambled. Like I'm so did not, explain things probably the way I wanted to in full like detail. But the gist of it was that I struggled with lower back pain for over 2 years until somebody would actually hear me out that this is more than just stress or you injured yourself, you pulled a muscle. It's way more serious than that. It is a full-blown autoimmune disorder that needs treatment and needs to be looked at and cared for. And if there's anyone if there's anyone else who has symptoms like that or kind of that story of mine resonates with you, don't be alarmed. You probably don't have it. But for those people that maybe have similar symptoms, don't rule it out that it's something you definitely don't have because I never in a million years thought I would be diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder. I was always a pretty healthy person, I never had any issues. And then all of a sudden, this is just at the age of 24, 25, boom, this just happens to me. Like I'm so young, I'm female, and it I didn't ask for it and it just happened. So it's definitely, if you're young, I think some of the risk factors and some of the things that really helped me understand that that's what I had is A, it's in my family. B, I'm a young age and it usually starts, this lower back pain starts between the ages of like 20 and 30, sometimes early 30s. And that's not normal. Like chronic back pain for no reason, like you didn't injure it in a situation like a car accident or sports. That's not normal for anybody that's young. It's, if you're old, sure, that's fine, whatever, you get back pain. But if you're young in your 20s, you need to advocate for yourself that this is not normal to have back pain that's every single freaking day for years on end or months on end, whatever. So risk factor, younger age, in your family. Something else that really proved that this was like an inflammatory problem for me was the fact that every time I took an Advil, it would just help so much. If I took like one extra strength Advil, the pain would completely go away and it would go away for like the rest of the day or the rest of the night. But if I took Tylenol or if I took anything else for like pain, it didn't help. So Advil, which is an anti-inflammatory drug, helped. And so there's a clue there that probably if Advil is something that works for you, but other things like Tylenol does not work for you, it possibly could be an inflammatory disease like what I have. Something else too is just the type of pain and how it feels. Um, how do I describe it? Is that it's it's like if you put stiffness and sharpness together and numbness all together as one, that's what it is. It's like every type of pain. Um, and that it's in the morning and in the night most likely, not during the day usually. Like you can it's maybe a bit stiff, but you can tolerate it during the day. It's just at night when it's really bad and in the first thing in the morning. Um, what else can I say that helped me realize this is what I had before the doctors diagnosed me? Yeah, like the fact that the pain was in my, like in weird places. Like it wasn't just, oh, my back hurts, oh, it's strained. Like it was like pain in my butt, like in my hips, in my butt, in my underneath like my like back thigh, like really deep in there. Like it was in the weirdest spots, like even in my groin. It was just radiating through all the whole area down there, and it was not predictable if it was going to be on one side or the other side. It would alternate back and forth, and no amount of stretching or yoga, which I have constantly done, and I still do it because it does help manage the pain. It doesn't treat it and make it go away, but it does help manage it. Um, but yeah, none of that would like cure it basically, which is what they were saying would happen. Like I saw a physio and they told me, oh, do these stretches, these squats, all that every day, and it should go away if you are regimented about it. And it helped me manage the pain definitely, but it didn't fix the problem. It didn't actually, you know, solve the mystery of what was causing it. And so that's the most important thing here, is to get to the bottom of what's causing it, and is it ankylosing spondylitis. So that's my story. I will probably keep updating of what treatment plan I'm going to be on, how I'm going to be going forward with this, how it'll affect my life moving forward, planning a family soon. So this is something that's like really heavy on my heart. I can't take Advil, can't take certain steroids and all kinds of stuff for this disease when you want to have a family. So I'll keep you updated on that. And I think that's something that really needs to be talked about as well. So I'll make some more videos in the future. But for now, if you have any questions about how I got diagnosed, what symptoms I had, or anything else that could maybe help you figure out that's something you have or something somebody you know might have it, just leave me a comment or send me a message. I'd be more than happy to help. So thanks for watching. Bye.